Being a course rep is all about communication, and here we're going to break down your main responsibilities as well as things to avoid. As a course rep, you have been elected to be the voice for the students on your course and represent their interests. Course reps act as a bridge of communication between the students in your course, your academic staff, and the SU in order to keep these groups updated about relevant feedback or information. You are also a volunteer. That's because you are donating your time to feedback the concerns and comments of the students on your course to better the student experience. We're now going to look at things you must, could, and should not do as a course rep. The main thing you must do as a course rep is communicate effectively. In your role, you need to first gather feedback from students, deliver this feedback to academic staff, then keep track of what is going on with the feedback you delivered to them, and then finally let the students you represent know what's happening with it. It is also mandatory that you either attend or submit a written report to your student staff liaison committee. This is a meeting that takes place once per semester between course reps and course leaders, and allows course reps to share the student feedback they've gathered. We'll cover this in greater detail in the fifth video. You must also signpost students towards the relevant support services. If a student comes to you with a personal issue, rather than dealing with it yourself, you should direct it to where they can get help. We'll look at where you can signpost students in the sixth video. Keeping up to date with the Students' Union is also important, as you are in many ways a liaison between the students and the SU. So please make sure your emails from us aren't going to your junk inbox. We don't expect you to read everything, but we do want you to be well informed, so please check. These are the things you could do. This means opportunities and things you can get involved in, but they are not mandatory. The rep coordinator will send you a weekly email with these opportunities to keep you updated. For example, this could include course approval panels and disciplinary and appeal panels. For both of these opportunities, you would act as a panel member at the events. In particular, for the latter, you would listen to appeals from the students in order to decide what outcomes are based on the evidence presented. It's important to have students sit on these panels to ensure that the student perspective is heard by the university. As a rep, you can also learn and become a co-chair for your second student staff liaison committee. This means you would facilitate the meeting with a support member from staff, particularly the chair. This is a role that combines leadership with negotiation skills in practice. We provide training for everyone interested, so please get in touch with your rep coordinator if you'd like to learn more about this. And finally, you can also participate in Speak Week. This is a new event this year that will ask students for their thoughts on what they would do if they ran the university. We'll have online comment cards, and other students can fill out this, but we'd love our course reps to lead. The link to the comment card will go live closer to the event, and we'll be sending it in an email to all course reps involved. If you want to get involved, please let us know. This is a list of things you should not do, what you should avoid and not get involved with during your role. You should not get involved with students' personal issues as a rep. For example, if a student or friend asks you to speak to the tutor on behalf about a personal matter, this is not appropriate, and as a rep, you're not obligated to do this. Students should look for solutions to their own problems themselves, but we do ask that you try to signpost them so they know who they can seek support from. That also means that you should not get involved in any academic appeals of students you know. Next, because you are a rep for students in your course, you need to make sure that you get feedback that is representative of those students. Please do not only put forth your own opinions or the opinions of a few friends as a student feedback matter. It's expected that you also seek feedback from every student on your course, even the ones you don't speak to regularly. You should not wait for them to get in touch with you. It's important that when you do gather feedback from students, you do not try to actively seek negative comments. Your objective is to get honest feedback from students, and this can of course be quite critical in itself. But as the rep, you should ask for feedback neutrally to ensure you're getting unbiased responses. For example, you could say, "We just had an assessment. How did you find it?" This would be much better than saying, "That last assessment was awful. What do you think?" Finally, We do not want you to prioritize your role as a rep over your studies. Your academic work comes first, so if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, please get in touch with us. Do this sooner rather than later so we can help. This is the end of the video on being a course rep, number 2 of 7 in this series. Please answer all questions in this section before attempting to move on to the next video. Thank you.